So recently in the realms of YouTube, one of the biggest creators on the site, H3H3PRODUCTIONS, has come under fire. And admittedly, the fire has come from creators such as me and creators such as Keemstar.
Let's get right into the news!
And a lot of this stuff is genuinely warranted too. I recently uploaded a video explaining my disappointment in H3 for monetizing a video talking about the death of Lil Peep on his podcast. And obviously whenever somebody calls out H3 for a bit of shadiness, a bit of scumminess, all the god defenders come over from the H3H3 subreddit and basically just dislike bomb an entire video, disregard any points made in a video. I challenge you to go and find a video which is about H3H3 doing something shady or something scummy, which hasn't been bombed in dislikes from H3H3 god defenders. And I guarantee half the people that actually dislike bomb an H3H3 video haven't listened to the entire video. In fact, they've probably just listened to the first 10 seconds, just completely dislike bombed it and left. But let's try and talk about this. Let's try and talk about a subject without going crazy because somebody is talking about their Lord and Savior H3H3 or their god Keemstar. Let's talk about the problems with H3H3 and Keemstar's input.
Nobody can touch my swag. Nobody.
Now H3H3 genuinely used to be my favourite content creator on the website, and I'm sure for a lot of you it used to be the same, and it probably still is the same. For me it was just back when Ethan used to sit in front of his computer rip into a video on who had been a cunt this week on the internet. And obviously this is what we know H3 for, just ripping into videos. He was basically a reaction channel, but a good reaction channel. Somebody that could add something new to the topic, someone that could make us laugh. Obviously here and there were a few cringe jokes with the fupa stuff and the beanie stuff, which never used to really make me laugh, but I can see why it did make some people laugh. You just have to look past a lot of the cringe jokes because genuinely H3 is a fucking funny bloke. But in the last year or so, H3's content has definitely taken a down spiral, and it probably all started from the Harambe video.
Guys, today we remember Harambe, not just as the great ape he was.
Now I can understand there was a year-long lawsuit going on with Matt Hoss and the fair use issue, and thankfully they did win this. And obviously when there's something that big going on in your life, they can't fully focus on their content, so it's obviously gonna take a decrease in quality. But in my eyes it's not just that. In my eyes they just run out of ideas and have a complete lack of quality in their videos. I just want Ethan to go back to his old reaction style videos, and obviously you can't just go back to how you were in the past. You need to continue to improve your content, but really for the past year or so I've just seen a divide amongst H3H3 fans in the quality of the content. You have the god defenders who are always going to watch him no matter what, and then you have the actual, in my eyes, real fans who are going to say, mate, you need to sort yourself out, your quality isn't very good at this point and you're being a shady bloke. And that's basically the situation right now. In my eyes, I summed up H3 in this tweet here. Is it me or does H3H3 seem to be way more fake or child friendly than he used to in his videos? His videos in the last months are so boring. I just miss him ranting about shit videos. I don't want to seem like a dick, but either in every video gets a bit meh. And if Ethan does want to have either in every video, I have no problem with that. At the end of the day, it's their channel, they can do what they want. But my suggestion is just work on the quality and work on the jokes, because sometimes it just seems a little bit forced. And obviously that isn't just the situation. The situation just isn't H3H3's quality in his videos. The situation goes towards his shadiness and Keemstar calling him out on it. So let's move into the shadiness of H3H3.
My niggas be like, fuck the haters.
So where does all this shadiness stem from with H3H3 Productions? Well, it all comes down to money. It started off with H3 getting called out on DramaAlert, called out by people like me for taking a clip from his podcast, uploading it onto a second channel and monetizing it, and then complaining that the video wasn't monetized to PewDiePie. And then there's been more questions brought up by Keemstar about where has the rest of the money gone for the lawsuit? And why is a games company who originally gave him money for their lawsuit still giving them money and still producing DLC for them? It's just a lot of questions, and genuinely a lot of good questions that I've personally been wondering too for the last few months.
They raised a total of $170,000. And in this video, they said the FUPA Twitter account will give updates with what's going on and who they're helping and what they're doing. The FUPA Twitter account hasn't tweeted since September of 2016, in over a year. Where did the money go? Also, H3H3 and Hila, thank God, won the lawsuit, which was great for everyone, but I'm pretty sure the other guy was forced to pay for their legal fees. Where is the money? Also, the creators of PayDay 2 made an H3H3 DLC pack, and again, this money was supposed to help them fight their legal battle, which is over now. They already won, and the DLC pack just came out. Quite frankly, I haven't watched this video, so maybe he did explain where that money's going, but if he doesn't explain it, I assume that he's just getting all the money.
Now fair enough, say what you want about Keemstar, a lot of the questions made in this Twitter point are genuine questions which can come with concern. Philip DeFranco did start up a GoFundMe to help out for H3H3 and his lawsuit with Matt Hoss, but they made actually more money than they needed to with the set goal of the GoFundMe. And PayDay 2 were a video games company that allowed Ethan and Hila to be in their video game as DLC and take all the money they'd make from that and give it to H3 and put it towards their lawsuit. But the thing is, they're still doing this DLC. And in fact, at this moment right now on H3's channel, they were advertising new DLC on PayDay 2, and people are just wondering, why are you still getting money for this? Why are you still making a profit from this? And then it goes to the question of what happened to Fupa. And H3 did respond on Twitter. He did fire back at Keemstar saying that all the money made for the lawsuit was explicitly for the lawsuit. And in fact, they underestimated how much money they would need and used $15,000 of their own money. And he explained that he didn't sue Matt Hoss for attorney fees because at the end of the day, Matt Hoss is just a pizza delivery boy. And in my eyes, fair play, that's good to see that they didn't just go and bankrupt Matt Hoss out of spite. It shows in this situation of the lawsuit, H3H3 is the better person. But then going back to the question of why is he still getting money for PayDay 2? And at first I thought, yeah, this is kind of fucked. This is fucked that he's still making money for something that was meant to support him and start a global precedent against the abuse of the fair use system. Now there is actually a reason I'm cool with this now. I've spoken to other creators about this and it's changed my mind. So first off, they won the lawsuit. That's done with, that's over. There's now been a global precedent set. Big companies cannot look down on smaller companies and think, right, we're gonna fuck you. You've made a video about us, you've made a video about our brand, our company, and we know that we can abuse the fair use system to take you down. They can't do that anymore. And that is most likely because of H3H3 and his lawsuit with Matt Hoss. And yes, he got the money from it. And the reason I'm still fine with him getting money from PayDay 2 is because at the end of the day, it's just another job. It's not like he's just getting money randomly given to him. He's doing voice acting for this company. It's at the end of the day, a job. If you take away the lawsuit, and he did this with PayDay 2, he did voice acting and got paid for it, and everyone would be fine. So what is the difference between it now? It's basically just another part of his job. And I can understand why people perceive this as shady. I really can. But in my eyes, I just don't think it's shady. I just think it's another part of his life and another way for him to earn some money. It's not like in a job you have to do everything that you enjoy to earn money. And I'm not saying he doesn't enjoy it, but what I don't enjoy in a job is asking for subscribers. And I'm trying to hit 10K by the end of the year. And if you want to subscribe, if you're enjoying it right now, be sure to subscribe. That was a good plug. I know, let's get back to it. But Keemstar's question about Fupa is something that genuinely concerned me. What has happened to Fupa? If you don't know what Fupa is a fair use protection association set up by H3H3 a year or two ago. It's basically there to stop big companies suing you for when you make a video about them. It means people like me can make a video on Jake Paul, make about 60 videos on Jake Paul, 70 videos on Zoella, and get away with it. Not get scared that they're gonna get sued by these people for making videos on them and critiquing their videos and actions. H3 made a video on Matt Hoss and got took to court and could have been sued by Matt Hoss, but he won the fair use lawsuit and it set a global precedent, as I said before. And that's what Fupa was there for. It was there to protect smaller creators who can't protect themselves. And I believe Fupa had a lot of money put into it by bigger creators and the GoFundMe set up for the lawsuit. And it really asks the question is, what has actually happened to Fupa? Is it still running? Is it on hold? Has they just completely shut the whole thing down? Because H3 hasn't commented on it. He said why they set Fupa up, but he didn't say what specifically has happened to the company. He needs to address this because in my eyes this is something extremely shady and it just adds to the shadiness of H3H3 and it's not like it's just one or two things. It continues to be a build-up of things.
But here we are. The Keemstar rants. Holy shit, dude.
So Keemstar was the main person to call out H3H3 Productions in this given situation. He called him out after H3H3 tweeted this. And when I first saw this tweet, I thought fair play, fair fucking play. I've got some respect for the bloke, a big creator, dude with 5 million subscribers, for admitting his mistakes, admitting he's become cynical, and saying the fame has maybe gotten to him. And then Keemstar comes back with this. I'm sorry, but can we just acknowledge that a grown man has just said L to another fucking grown man? You're middle-aged men, for fuck's sake. We've just hit a whole new low on YouTube. Next thing you know, we're going to see Donald Trump tweeting at Kim Jong-un saying, we've got better nukes than you, hold the L, you fat cunt. It's going to turn into that, I promise you. Donald Trump is going to be saying, hold the L. We're in a whole new world of shit, a whole new world. And going back to it, typically Keemstar went off on a Twitter tangent at H3H3 Productions. He was saying how shady H3 was and they were basically taking shots at each other left, right and center. And I don't particularly care about the tweets, I really don't care, other than a few points made in the tweets. Such as some tweets of Keemstar admitting he's actually biased, whereas I swear in the past, Keemstar has said how he isn't biased on DramaAlert, and now he's admitting to being biased on DramaAlert. And surprisingly, I haven't got a problem with somebody being biased on their platform, because at the end of the day, it's a YouTube channel, it's not a television network. And if Keemstar acknowledges that he's not a news network and he is just a biased opinion who might report the news in a biased way, I haven't actually got a problem with that, as long as he can admit he was wrong to say that he was not doing that in the past. And as I said in my previous videos, you could argue that Keemstar does have some valid reasoning for being biased against H3H3 Productions, considering the fucking stupid drunken outburst H3 had about Keemstar and Scarce on his podcast podcast.
I didn't watch the podcast, but this guy says he's a hypocrite,
Isn't
and
that
I didn't
nice?
have any content today, so I'm going to post a video, and I don't really care about what it actually means. I'm news, but I don't actually look at things beyond surface value. I'm Keemstar.
But
I make news for 12-year-olds.
But my problem lies with how Keemstar actually uses his platform against people who he admits he's had a problem with in the past. Obviously, Keemstar a year ago wouldn't have dreamed doing something like this. He wouldn't have dreamed calling out a creator such as H3H3. You might not want to admit it, but H3H3's fanbase is at the biggest divide it's ever been at. You have the God Defenders, as I said before, who will continuously defend H3. No matter how many Harambe videos he uploads, they will always defend him and say he's the best creator on the website. And then you have people like me, people that just watch him for the entertaining aspect, not the God Defenders. We just are there to watch his content and laugh. And then you see somebody like Keemstar tweeting all this stuff and you think, yeah, maybe Keemstar's right. Maybe for once in my life, I actually agree with DJ Killer Keemstar. It's clear that Keemstar fully acknowledges, he fully acknowledges that H3H3 production is just on a standing point right now. A standing point if he can't go any higher, but he can actually go lower. Whereas Keemstar just seems to be on the up. He just seems to be on the rise. There's no other way of saying it. He's waited and he's waited. He's built a complete new audience of Rice Gum fans, and now he's at this point where he can basically say what he wants. Remember how much he defended Rice Gum during the iDubbbz content cop era? And personally, yeah, I don't have a problem. He's defending his friend and he admits he's biased. I do not have a problem with that. But it does just show the shift of Keemstar's audience over the last year. And is this deliberate? Has he deliberately tried to change his audience? Well, you tell me. Does the man want an audience of people who will completely switch their sides when they hear about a false paedophile accusation, or when Keemstar made somebody cry on camera? Does he really want an audience that is going to switch on him like that? You know, logical people? Or does he want an audience of people who will never stop defending him? People like Rice Gum's fanbase, people that are going to constantly defend him. And why do you think that he defends Rice Gum so much? In my eyes, he wants another audience. He wants an audience that are going to defend him no matter what. And personally, I think he's finally got that. I think he does have this level of audience. I think Keem is genuinely in the right for calling out H3H3 for the money situation. I just don't think he's using his platform in the right way to do it. Even H3 mentioned on the podcast with Keemstar that he's worried that he's going to return to his old ways. Is Keemstar actually returning to his old ways other than a few mistakes? I mean, yeah, personally I think he is. And is this wrong? Well, maybe it is wrong, but it also is very fucking entertaining. You can be the best person and the nicest person in the world, but there's a good chance more people are going to find a cunt more entertaining than you. Would you rather watch Superman or would you rather watch the Joker? You decide. Personally, I don't watch Keemstar, but I can see the appeal for younger audiences.
Hey now, you're a Keemstar, put your hat on, MLG.
In conclusion, I feel like H3 and Keemstar are both in the wrong in certain aspects. H3 is in the wrong for his shadiness and the money issue, but he has addressed the issue. I just feel like he needs to improve his content from now and just move on from it. Keem is wrong for just being so fucking stubborn and malicious. He just needs to calm the fuck down and just take away his grudges for a second, look at it from a neutral perspective and think, am I actually saying the right things that need to be said here? And if he believes he is, then okay, then fair enough. But personally, I think he needs to be a little less fucking malicious and stop going over the fucking top, because yes, he's got to this point now where he can do that. That is the end of the video, people. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a bit controversial, but if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Try and hit 10K by the end of the year. So if you did enjoy it, subscribe. Have a good day, people. Peace.